How's it going on Sunday, August the 8th, 2021? Ken Arzone, Vista, California. Baseball Hall of Famers, analyzing their stats, their achievements, their accomplishments, their performances. Those who are in the Hall of Fame, too, not present day players and not ones who have disputed stats according to steroids. This episode will be episode 247. How about that? Total bases. Players, they accumulated a certain number of bases in their career. For example, who's the all-time leader in total bases? Henry Aaron, 6,856 total bases. Second is Stan Musial, 6,134, and Willie Mays, 6,066. Those three guys are members of the 6,000 total bases club. Then you go down the line, you have the 5,000 members, and then 4,000. I won't list them all here. But what I want to do in this episode, I want to analyze how many bases did a player average per games played. For example, if a guy played 1,000 games and he has 1,000 total bases in his career, that means he averaged one base per game. Now, some guys, when they hit a home run, that's 4 bases in a game, right? If you hit 2 home runs, you have 8 bases in one game. So, who has the best percentage of bases per games played? You know who's number one? Lou Gehrig averaged 2.33 bases per game. He played 2,164 games, and he has a total of 5,060 bases. Now, you may ask me, what about Henry Aaron? He leads the league, he has the all-time record, 6,856 bases. But how many games did he play, and what did he average per game? Hank Aaron, he's number 8 on the list. There's 7 other guys ahead of him. And Lou Gehrig's number 1, 2.33 bases per game. Are you understanding what I'm saying here? Here's what you do. You take 5,060 bases and you divide it by 2,164 games. It comes out to 2.33 bases per game. For every game that Lou Gehrig played, you can count on him to get 2.33 bases. Now, let's say he goes 1 for 4 and it's just a single. That's 1 base. But then the next game, he gets 2 home runs and 2 doubles. So that would be 8. That would be 16 bases in one game? No. 2 home runs would be 8 bases, and 2 doubles would be 4. That's 12 bases in one game. You know what the record for bases in one game is? 19. By a guy named Shawn Green. Had 4 home runs, a double, and a single. 4 home runs is 16. A double is 2 more bases. That's 18. Then he had a single. He went 6 for 6. He had 19 total bases in one game. But he's not on the list as far as average of how many bases he got per game because he didn't have a long enough career. Lou Gehrig, who's number 2? Averaging how many bases per games played? Babe Ruth, 2.31. Now, the first 10 guys on my list averaged 2 bases a game. But Lou had 2.33, indicating more than 2. He has a 3.3. You have to divide, when you do the division on it, it comes out to those decimal points. You can't just say 2.0 because he had more. So Lou Gehrig, 2.33. Babe Ruth, 2.31, just under. Because Babe had 5,793 bases, which is more than Lou Gehrig's 5,060. But Babe had more games, 2,503. So that's how he gets to the 2.31. 3 on the list. Jimmie Foxx. 4,956 bases in 2,317 games gives him 2.13 base per game. 4. Ted Williams. 4,884 bases, 2,292 games. Gives him 2.13. He's tied with Fox. 5. Al Simmons. 4,685 bases, 2,215 games. Gives him 2.11 base per game. 6. Vladimir Guerrero. Who knew? 4,506 bases, 2,147 games, 2.09 base average per game. 7. Roger Hornsby, 4,712 bases, 2,259 bases or games. Do the math, and he comes out 2.08 base per game. 8 on the list is the guy named Henry Aaron. 6,856 bases. Whoa, that won't be broken. And he did it in 3,298 games. See, Aaron has about 1,100 more games than Gehrig. Gehrig played 2,164 games. Aaron, 3,298, 1,100 more games. So as a result, his average goes down to 2.07. But he's a member of the 2 bases per game average. Number 9, Stan Musial. 6,143 bases in 3,026 games. See, he's got the 3,000 games, where Gehrig has 2,100 and Babe Ruth has 2,500. Jimmie Foxx 2,300. See how they have more bases per games because of less games played. But Stan comes out 2.03. And then number 10, Willie Mays, 6,066 bases in 2,992 games, close to 3,000, 2.02 bases per game. So you have 3 guys who have 6,000 bases. Aaron, Musial, and Mays. But they rank 8, 9, and 10 as far as average of base per game. Following? Okay, the next guys, I've got, how many I got total? I've got 50 guys. So I won't mention all their bases and games, take too long, but I'll mention their averages. Okay? So the top 10 are averaging over 2 base per game. All these guys are just a tad under, and some are in the middle. Okay? 11, Ken Griffey, 1.97. Frank Thomas, 1.95. Ty Cobb, he had a lot of bases, but he had a lot of games. So 1.93. Frank Robinson, 1.91. Chipper Jones, 1.90. Goose Goslin, 1.89. Harry Hagelman, 1.88. George Brett and Ernie Banks come in at 1.86. Mickey Mantle, 1.87. Billy Williams, 1.84. Mel Ott and Roberto Clemente, 1.84. Jim Thome and Mike Schmidt, 1.83. Tris Speaker, Eddie Matthews, Andrew Dawson, 1.82. Cap Hansen, Paul Molitor, 1.81. Nap Lajoie, 1.80. Derek Jeter, 1.79. Eddie Murray, 1.78. Dave Winfield, Paul Waner, Ivan Rodriguez, 1.75. Tony Gwynn, 1.74. Honus Wagner, 1.74. Cal Ripken, Sam Crawford, 1.72. Reggie Jackson, Al Kaline, 1.71. Carl Yastrzemski, 1.67. Pete Rose, Wade Boggs, 1.66. Robin Yount, 1.65. Craig Biggio, 1.65. Tony Perez, 1.63. Harold Baines, 1.62. And rounding out the list, Rod Carew, 1.61 base per game. What do you think of that list? The number one player of how many bases he averaged per games played is Lou Gehrig, number one. 2,164 games, and he accumulated 5,060 bases. Top 10 again: Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth, Jimmy Fox, Ted Williams, Al Simmons, Vladimir Guerrero, Roger Hornsby, Hank Aaron, Stan Musial, and Willie Mays. Total bases: home run, triple, double, single. Add them up. So that was the top 10, but who's the top 10 as far as bases? Hank Aaron, 6,856. Stan Musial, 6,134. 2. Willie Mays, 6,066 bases. Ty Cobb, 5,854. Babe Ruth, 5,793. Pete Rose, 5,752. Carl Yastrzemski, 5,539. Eddie Murray, 5,397. Frank Robinson, 5,373. And Ken Griffey, 5,271. Now, there's some players playing now that will be higher ranked, but they're not in the Hall of Fame yet. I'm dealing with Hall of Famers, okay? So I think that takes care of the bases analysis. What do you think? Do you understand the total bases analysis? Getting on base. You get a base hit to left field. That's one base. Next at bat, another single. So you have 2 bases for the game. Next at bat, you hit a home run. So you're 3 for 3. How many bases do you have? 6. You have 2 singles, 2, and then you just hit a home run. That's 4 bases. That's 6. Your next at bat, you get a triple. So how many bases you have? You have 9 bases for the game. And then you come up the 5th time and you get a double. So now you have 11 bases, right? Shawn Green set the record, 19 bases in one game, 6 for 6, 4 home runs, which is 16, a double, which makes it 18, and then he got a single, which makes it 19 total bases in one game. Wow, I'm impressed with that record. All right, I've been focusing on hitting. I've done the hits analysis, runs batted in analysis, runs scored analysis, 3,000 hits analysis, total bases analysis. So I think I'm going to do something unique for the next episode. There are 160 players that I recognized in the Hall of Fame. And I did an analysis Yeah, 160, I believe. Could be 161. I'll look it up. But I did an analysis and I combined their stats. I combined hits, runs, RBI, and batting average as one number. If he got one hit for his career, that's one. One run scored in his, let's say a player, hypothetically. He comes into the league and he plays one game. He gets one hit. But he goes 1 for 4. Okay? So one hit. He scores the run. So 1 plus 1 is 2. He drives in the RBI with the hit. So now he has 3. But he goes 1 for 4 for the game. So his average is 250. So what's his combined total? 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. And then his average is 250. So his combined total is 250. Okay? That's what I mean by combined stat. I ranked 160 or 161. I'll let you know in the next episode because I got to see if I left somebody out. I may have left somebody out who made the Hall of Fame recently. I don't have them in my book. I'm going to look through here and see if I left him out. If I did, it'll be 161. If he's in here, it's 160. But I ranked all these players with those numbers. A hits their career hits, their career runs scored, their career RBIs, and their career batting average, all as one number. Who comes out number 1? And then what's the rank? I'll tell you in the next episode, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. I'm out.